a
reasons
wrong
why
show,
you,
right?
yes, there must be
My
some reason
network
why
is.
you booked
Please,
the clarity session. So
please
you can
give me
just
a.
talk. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can, but it's cracking really bad. Please give me a minute to connect to the backup network.
All right.
Hello?
Is this the better one?
Yes, this is the better one.
Okay. Okay. So you can just talk.
Okay, thank you. So, Comfort Health is a sexual reproductive health organization, but we are focusing specifically on post-abortion care, and that is because that is the main niche we decided to focus on. But then again, post-abortion care has to be holistic, and that includes STI treatment, PID treatment. PID is pelvic inflammatory disease. Then we have other like sexual and reproductive health services like giving vaccinations and all that. So currently, our model of operation, we find health providers. That includes doctors, community health extension workers, and midwives, right? If we have a client coming, you have to bring a scan along showing that you have an incomplete procedure because we have to be sure that you qualify for care. Then we refer you, there are two methods. We refer you to a health facility if the person comes in septic. Septic is when there's infection or it has progressed and they need to get like immediate surgery. We send them into healthcare providers. For some people, a medical evacuation can work for them, especially in parts of the country where they cannot access a healthcare facility that has equipment to treat them. So what we do is that they consult with our doctor. We reach out to a partner pharmacy organization that we work with, get the prescription because of course you cannot sell the medication without prescription, and then have it delivered to the client. Then a sexual health counselor would guide them through the process, how to use the medication correctly, and what to look out for, things that they should notify us about. Then for some other cases, we like connect individuals to providers. So we work with providers, midwives, doctors, nurses to give vaccination. It can be cervical cancer screening also. So that's what we basically do. We also offer mental health services, especially for people who are going through like a miscarriage or a traumatic pregnancy loss. We have counselors and therapists that we connect them to get care. So that's how we currently operate. We started a pilot study, right, in January of 2024. We were not registered then, but we were just trying the model to see what works, what doesn't work, and how we would fine tune the model based on what is already existing in the market. We did that, we found a model that worked and then is scalable. So in 2024 of September, we got registered. The lawyer that I was working with, I discovered that was when I discovered that oh, lawyers have like niches that they are focused on, because I discovered that he was not so like grounded on. Please give me a minute. There's a work call. Let me just tell her I'm in a meeting.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had to handle it.
So,
So we got registered in 2024 of October. That was when I knew that there were like niches. Lawyers had niches, and I decided to look for a startup lawyer who was more experienced. So far, we have been registered. We have done the essential tax registration. We have filed for taxes of last year, but we wanted to do a trademark registration. And then I got that your book that I got a book initially, setting up your
yeah.
startup. I discovered that like a lot of things were lacking, and I wanted to like
Uh,
have a one-on-one call with you to have better clarity. That's why I'm here.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. I'm glad to get that review on the book because the it actually achieves the purpose of the book because it's supposed to be a roadmap. Because
Yes,
sometimes some people may not be ready, maybe because of cost and the rest, but at least it's better for you to know what is involved before you
true.
set out so that you don't, have hitches along the way. So I already know that Comfort Health is registered. I'm not
Mm.
sure if I got that you have a co-founder.
Yes, we are two. We are three co-founders. Myself,
Okay.
I do I explain how we work? Do I
Yes,
explain
you
how we
can.
work? Okay.
Yes,
So
please.
myself, I am the chief executive officer. So I'm front facing, meet the investors, also sometimes can speak to providers that need to properly understand what we do. And I'm also tasked with market expansion. Then we have the chief medical officer, Dr. Uzo. So we are using his license because for health tech, if you are operating on the internet, you need to work in accordance to the MDCN guidelines. So he is there
Yeah.
to provide insights. We use his license for the business also as health tech, and he would also like give us the medical roadmap of how telehealth medicine should operate. So when there are like meetings in the industry, guideline recommendation, he handles that. Then we have Elizabeth in Inwakan. She leads operation. So she is a public health specialist and she has more experience with like sorting for providers, um, speak to pharmaceutical companies that we work for. So that's how the responsibilities are like shared.
Okay, so it's only Mr. Uzo that has the license.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a co-founders agreement?
We had it, but we were working with a lawyer, but I don't think that it was like that was when I knew that I needed to get somebody who was more experienced. Do you understand? Because it just
Okay.
current one that we have basically just explains our shares with CAC and the role that everybody plays. I don't think that is holistic enough.
Yeah. No,
And
no,
we
it's
are
not.
also like yes, we are also trying to like bring in new people. We have somebody who currently works with us. He was brought in on like contract basis, but he is willing to join the
Okay.
organization as the CTO. So he mentioned that
Say
he
what?
wanted we had somebody who was previously working with us. So we got into an accelerator program and we got a grant
Okay.
of 50 that enabled us like put better products in. We refined the product better. So there was
Okay.
the website development product, and this person has decided, oh, I like what you people are working on, and I want to join as the CTO. So that
Mhm.
I need clarity on that also.
Okay, but the person are not joined yet, and there's no agreement yet.
Yes, he has not joined and there's no agreement. That is one of the reasons why like I booked a session to know how to go about that.
Okay, but have you really decided on what the person's job description is going to be? And to what level the person will be involved in your startup?
Yes, we have come to a conclusion. We like had a meeting. He's going to lead
Okay.
technology, so basically web development. We have a WhatsApp bot. He would lead the development and maintenance of that. And if we by chance get an intern for that role, he would like handle that department, something like that.
Okay. Okay. You have an app.
It's a WhatsApp bot, not an app.
Okay. Do you plan to develop one?
We are not planning to develop an app because like a WhatsApp bot is more accessible and sustainable for like the kind of work that we do. So
Okay.
WhatsApp bots for
Okay.
now. But we can like in the future redefine the solution, WhatsApp bot, make it more holistic. But we are sticking to bots for now.
Okay. The CTO, are you paying salary?
No, because I explained to him that we cannot pay salaries now. We are just starting and we got thank God for the accelerator that came along and we're able to get in. However, for the accelerator, an example is this accelerator that we got in, there was founders reimbursement. Do you understand? So in situations like
Okay.
that, we would share the reimbursement, which is what has been happening. The accelerator is in like different stages. The first stage, we got 1,500 for founders reimbursement, and I had to share it amongst the three founders.
Okay. So is that what the person is going to live by?
Um, yes, I. When you say live by, could you explain, please, so that I can be sure I get it correctly?
As in like, because we need to stipulate whether either the person is getting a salary. We just need to stipulate the compensation. Now, you know how people will come on board and they will tell
Mm-hmm,
you, I don't mind. Let me just, contribute my quota for the startup and all of that. The person may
mm-hmm,
even agree, even if you are giving me stipends and the rest, then something happens tomorrow.
mm-hmm,
And being that, the person is occupying a critical position, the critical
mm-hmm,
position of handling your tech. I've
mm-hmm,
had issues of people, um when the relationship falls apart, they refuse to grant access to some IT developments and sites and websites and even some of the things that they develop for the organization. So I need to, if I'm coming up with the agreement, I need to know what the compensation is. Some people give
okay.
so people give equity in the startup, but I don't know how too well you know the person has to agree to that even at this stage.
So he we used to work in an organization before. That is how I met this person. But I
Okay.
have explained to him, do you understand? Not just myself and other co-founders. We sat down and we had the discussion, and that was why I said we need to like bring a lawyer on board so that this is documented. He has agreed that he would not take monthly salary because we cannot afford that. However, if we get like stipends from accelerators or maybe just what do they call it? Incubator programs, the
Yes.
reimbursement meant for the founders, we would share it amongst ourselves.
Is there a percentage?
Currently, we use the percentage on the CAC documentation, but since we are changing that was why I decided to like seek professional help. Presently it is 40, 30, 30. That's how we share it.
40, 30,
30,
30.
30. Yes.
So from where is the CTO getting his own share?
So we would expand the shares or maybe reassign the shares because we have the CTO. We also have a compliance lawyer coming in because we needed that. That was something we also saw that we needed, especially because of the field that we work in. We are keeping data, right? So for how we operate, maybe this will give insight. Let me explain. Because it's telehealth and it's post-abortion care, we have to be sure that the person that we are giving care to is the actual person. Because anybody can come in with a scan and say, oh, I had an unsafe procedure, this is my scan. And you are now giving a medication to the person and you have not confirmed if this person is actually that person. That is medical
Mm.
malpractice, which Uzo has explained. So now we verify using their NIN. So if your name doesn't match, if the name on the scan doesn't match what you have on your NIN, we can't administer care because now you are not the
Yeah.
same person, right? So
Yeah.
we have a compliance lawyer joining us. She also said she wanted a percentage because I have explained to her that we do not have enough money to like pay founders yet. However, we have interns that we give stipends to because they help with some of the work. So currently, I do not have the capacity to be making videos, attending meetings, still joining the accelerator program. So we have a video creator intern. We also have a customer success intern because sometimes some people would register, they might input the wrong code and they need correction. They need to speak to somebody. So there's a customer intern for that. They will speak to her and then she would escalate to Elizabeth. So that's how it currently works.
Okay. So I'm writing something.
No problem.
Okay, so from all that you have discussed, and I know, yeah, you were mentioned. I'm trying to remember if you mentioned there's any agreements, any standing agreements. I
Yes.
have taken note of the co-founders agreements
Mm-hmm.
that you said need to be reviewed. So is there any other agreement
Mm-hmm.
you have signed somewhere?
So we have the employee contract, or Joma, the in-house, the data protection person crafted that for the interns, employment agreements. Then we have an agreement with SLA with our partners because we had to give them that, like the healthcare providers that work for us. We also are we have done another agreement, but it has not been sent now. B2B partners. So there are some like NGOs that get cases of people who need post-abortion care. We are trying to go into a partnership with them so that they can refer people to us, especially because most people that go to them do not have access to a healthcare facility. So we want to be able to handle that. So those are the agreements that we have for now.
Oh, okay. So do you have a physical office?
Currently, no, we work remotely, a remote team.
Okay. Um, well, but where is the main location, maybe that you used in the CSC registration and the rest?
Okay, so it's my house address. So I use a part for my workspace where I meet with one of the co-founders stays in Abuja also. So when we have meetings, that's where we have it. The other part of my house, which is what we
Okay, so
currently
that
use.
means on CSC document is Abuja that is on the document.
Yes,
Okay, and you have 1 million shares.
yes,
You are deliberating whether you are going to increase it or to
yes,
reallot the shares.
yes.
Okay. Um, all right. So from all that you have said, and you also mentioning you have a compliance lawyer coming in. I have two packages for startup founders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is a one off arrangement, a one-off
Okay,
where in the package I take care of your company registration, or if there's a need for restructuring, just like the way it is in your current just now. If we need to restructure, and we need to also look at your business objectives to make sure that you know sometimes it happens. It may be that you don't need it, but it will take a legal audit for us to find out if we
mm-hmm.
need to restructure your objectives. Make sure you are registered under the right structure, which is a limited liability, which you have done already. And you said you are
Mm-hmm.
registered for tax, right?
Yes.
You're registered for tax, so you have your SIN number and the rest. So that's part of the package. Then we go into intellectual property protection. Intellectual property
Okay.
protection to make sure that your brand is secured. And we need to also make sure that the intellectual property of Comfort Health belongs
Mm-hmm.
to Comfort Health Limited. It doesn't
Okay.
belong to
Okay.
either of you, right? But I know from the way you are talking and the steps you are taking, I don't know who I would say like is the main head. That should be you, right?
Yes,
I don't know
based
who
on
came up with
the.
the idea. Who came up with
So
the idea before bringing others?
okay, I did. Then I brought in Elizabeth. Then we discovered that we needed a medical doctor and brought in Uzo.
Perfect. So we look at protecting your intellectual properties. That involves doing a legal audit.
Mm-hmm.
You've already mentioned the services that you provide. So make sure that we do you have a logo?
Yes, we do, but it will go through changes in the nearest future. So the trademark, I also wanted to ask about that. Can we just trademark the name pending when we can like do the logo and
Sure. Sure.
all right.
Even when people have a logo that includes their name, I always advise to trademark just the name because logo can always
Mm-hmm.
change, but your name should be constant. You have a slogan
Yes, we do.
that is peculiar to you. Okay. Do you have any products you have that is peculiar to you? Things you created by yourself that you don't intend for another party to share or use it without your authority?
Okay. I think, but I would speak to Silvanus after this. The registration, the WhatsApp bot is like a registration system, right? And that is what is
Mhm.
unique to us because we had checked in the market existing competitors, what they are doing and what they were not getting right. And we discovered that they use WhatsApp, yes, but there was like that what is it called mismatch of identity. Anybody could come and say I'm this and not prove that they are this person, and then you offer care, and that can cause an issue. And that was an issue. Maria Stoops is like a major competitor. That was an issue that they had. So manually, before we created systems, we would use NIN to just we'll tell them show us your NIN to be sure that is your name. But then Silvanos came on board, and when we brought him in to develop the tech, he told us that people can forge like NIN cards, and if we are trying to do compliance, this thing it doesn't work. So we should use a system that can verify the NIN. So when is what is it called? When they put in the NIN, the system will then check if the name, surname matches or the date of birth. If it doesn't match, then it declines. So I think that is, I know I don't think that that is what is unique because we verify from like the point of registration if this person is actually this person.
So is it he's the one that created it?
Yes, he did, Silvanus.
So is it like an app or something?
So it's a bot. Let me try to see. The issue is I cannot share my screen here, but give me a moment to check if I can log in here so that I will share my screen.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm still with you. I'm trying to log in so that I show you what it looks like. Please, how do I share my screen here?
Okay, you can are you seeing where you can click on present or invite?
Yeah, yes, I've seen it.
Yes, you can click there.
Thank you. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. So this is what it looks like, our dashboard. So once they come
Okay.
here, please give me a minute, it's loading. Okay, so let me give an example. So this is what it looks like, right? So you can see that from this point, this person inputted their information, but then they have refused to fill their NIN, date of birth, address. So the system automatically just like stops you. It shows pending until all of the necessary information rather is completed. So we have the
Okay.
pending user, yes. Once you are approved, it goes to accepted. We have accepted for some people. However, if you do it like multiple time, it shows banned. So we also have here the process. Once people have filled the form, the system just basically pings the available counselor to verify what that person needs so that we can know the right kind of care to give to them, right? And then pair you with
Okay.
the provider. So that is what I mean by the system. I'll stop sharing my
Okay.
screen now.
It's fine. So like how many users do you have now signed up?
Okay, on the current WhatsApp bot from the back end is 304, but before we started using that, we had over 1,000 people because we were doing a pilot test in like January up until September. Previously, it was Google Forms, and that was one of the issues the accelerator program had, that Google Form was not safe to compile data, and that was why we moved it to the WhatsApp bot. So in total, it will be about roughly, it was 1,700 and something before, plus 304 that we have, roughly about 2,000, a little over 2,000.
Okay. Okay. Asking that because of data compliance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we have settled on the intellectual property protection that we'll be making for Comfort Health. Both the
Mm-hmm.
name, the logo can come subsequently, but signing under the right class, the classes that governs health, the
Mm-hmm.
classes that governs I don't know, the niche that you are operating. I'm going to check to see if there's anything like that. Then the class that
Sexual health.
governs technology. You said
Mhm. I said the niche is sexual health, sexual reproductive health.
yes, yes, sexual production health, reproductive health. Sorry. So I'm going to check for that. Then tech under tech, because whether it's WhatsApp bot or subsequently that you're using, then the part of data protection, because you'll be collecting people's data and
True.
information, sensitive information. So that's intellectual property protection aside. Then we're going to look at contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of contracts. I don't know. Do the users that come on board, is there something they sign?
Yeah, so the lawyer that we had did the privacy policy, especially because we had to explain why we were collecting the data and how we were going to store it. So it's on the WhatsApp bot when they are signing before they click. Is there? It's also on the website.
So that's the only document they sign.
Yes, that's the only document.
I think there should be other documents.
Okay.
What happens if there's maybe something happens by virtue of the prescription or whatsoever? What absorbs your liability? And what if they give you wrong information and you're acting on that? Maybe they did not divulge some, because there's sometimes some people having allergies or having some reactions or having, I don't know, I'm not a medical person, but I know that risk is there. That
when
risk
you're
is there,
mission.
and we need to protect your liability. So if someone gives you the wrong information and you are working with that, if
Mhm.
anything comes up from there, it shouldn't be your fault. So aside from privacy policy, there should be something like that. So
Okay.
I will have to put that in mind. So all the contracts, we are going to look at your co-founders agreement. Usually we do co-founders agreement. You are in accelerator program. I don't know what is the plan for, you know, seeking for investors subsequently. You have plan for that?
Yes, we do, but we currently have one. She's an investor in the health tech space. She reached out to us, but I was very open with her. I told her we are just starting. We don't have certain things in place, and she should give me more time to work on it, which she agreed on.
So that's like an angel investor, just an individual that is just passionate to just, you know, put in funds to aid
I
what
would
you are
say
doing, right?
yes, I would say it's an impact venture because she has a VC for impact startups. That's what she invests in.
Oh, okay. So what did she tell you what she'll be getting in return? What she wants in return?
So we have not spoken about that yet because I told her that we are trying to put better structures in place, and when we do that and we gain enough traction, as when she reached out to us, we had just 500 users, and I told her when we gain more traction, I will reach back to her organization, and she agreed because she understood like the health tech space. So once we get to that stage, obviously I would contact the lawyer, you obviously again for that stage.
That's great. I'm very happy about that because you know that some founders start off with just gathering investors and all of that. Before you know it, they lose the vision of what they are creating because
True.
investors now have a say and changes the direction of what the startup is about. So we're going to
True.
look at co-founders agreement, investors agreement, employee contracts. We're going to look at that. Then independent contracts, the SLA you spoke about, and
Okay.
shareholders agreement. Because even though you have a co-founders agreement, there should be shareholders agreement too, because that will specify everybody's rights and privileges and contribution. Contribution is very important. As co-founders, you need to state what everyone is contributing and on
Mm-hmm.
what basis. You have the 40, 30, 30, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that you have on ground. And what happens? Do people get their equity outrightly, or they will have a cliff period, or it has to, you have to have it for a certain time, a certain period of time. Then you have cliff period. For instance, this is you started from 2024. This is 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So some people can be on board. Relationship used to go south. I'm not saying yours true, but as a lawyer, I'm looking at the legal aspects. If one person decides to leave tomorrow, and what is the structure we are going to put in place? So we're going to evaluate that and make sure that is captured in your shareholders agreements. So when investors come, we will look at that. Then we'll also look at drafting policies, just like the one I mentioned that you need to have, even because you are building a company now. Any company that's registered with Corporate Affairs Commission, there are provisions on how things ought to be done. So we are looking at corporate governance policies and
Mm-hmm.
your articles. Aside from the one you have in Corporate Affairs Commission, you're supposed to have the articles of association that governs the in running of your organization. That's for contracts. Then we
Mm-hmm.
look at permits and licenses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last thing on that package. And for you, you already mentioned you are using Mr. Uzo's license, right?
Yes.
So you have a license as that, but the other license that we have to get here will be the data protection.
Yes.
Data protection. So you're using WhatsApp, you're using WhatsApp bots now,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll have to look at complying with NICTA on use of technology. Use of technology. Um, I will also have to check something with what license does Mr. Wisdom have?
MDCN license, medical and dental license.
Okay. And that qualifies for any practice in sexual reproductive health.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so well, I'll still do more research to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that there is there's no we're not in breach of any law at all as to the practice of this. I'll make more research on that and get back to you. So when we have all documented all of this, and it's usual, and aside from all of these processes that I'm going to go through with you, I'm also
Mm-hmm.
going to give you a free retainership for 3 months, being that I'm going to guide you through. Just like you're saying, some people in the space of trying to launch, maybe they are not ready for investors yet, but within
Mm-hmm.
that 3 months, they are able to stabilize. So even your compliance lawyer that is coming on board, I'll be able to guide her through on the legal compliance that must be carried out every point in time. So there are no lapses, and to just make sure that you are secured, right? So, and
All right.
all of these things that I mentioned, the rate at which I do it is 1.7 million,
Okay.
right? But you have registered your company, you have registered for tax, and I'll have to go through your agreement. I'll have to
Okay.
go through your arguments, and so we're going to exclude that. We're going to
Okay.
exclude that, and we're going to exclude that from the from the money, which will roughly, so we'll have to be coming down to 1.5.
Okay.
We'll have to be coming down for 1.5. And just like I was discussing with my team, I was like, I don't know, my heart is already going to this Sanosi, because when I typed your name in my email, I saw that
Mm-hmm.
you have bought my book and you paid for clarity section. So I was like, no, this person is special to my heart. So,
Thank you. I
so
see the work that you do, and I know that you are grounded in your work. That was why I reached out.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. So that's what I have in mind. So what do you say?
I cannot make a decision solely, but I appreciate it. I would speak to the team, that is Uzo, Elizabeth, and work with them. I would also have to speak to my coach on the accelerator program because I told him that this is really important. We are also looking at like registering in Rwanda because that's where the
Okay,
accelerator program is based, and we have been trying to make contact. That was something I forgot to mention. Thank God I remembered.
okay.
We are trying to make contact to see if we can legally register in Rwanda, and that is because there is a market there. There are better grant opportunities there, and one of the goals of this accelerator program was fundraising and raising capital for your startups. And for every opportunity that they recommend, because we are not registered in East Africa, it's a disqualifier
Oh,
even when we meet all
okay.
of the criteria. That is why we are looking at doing that. So I would speak to him about I told my coach that I had to get things right here before I like move expansion, because I believe that if you are going to do something, you like do it well where you are able to do it before you
You're
move to
right.
the next place.
Yeah,
So I
you're
would
right.
speak to him, let him know about this. Once that is done, I would speak to my co-founders to like let them know this is the decision that we are making and this is how much money we have to pay. Then I would
Okay.
check for their opinions and get back to you. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Just keep me updated, and maybe I don't know at what point you want to grant me access to look at the current documents you have. Maybe before you even before you talk to them, because as part of this consultation section, I'm supposed to do a
Mhm.
legal audit.
Okay.
So
All right.
if you want to grant me access to the documents you have, I have to look at them,
All
because
right.
that would
I
also
think.
enable me to see the level of work that is involved. And you don't
All
need
right.
to bother about non-disclosure, because as a lawyer in our
Mhm.
practice, there are clients privilege, clients and attorney privileges. So
Yes.
I am bound to, you know, I'm bound to secrecy concerning what your work, unless you give permission for that to be shared. But
Okay.
some people, if it still makes you okay that before you grant me access, you want me to sign a non-disclosure, that's fine.
All
That's
right.
fine by me.
All right.
Then also, sorry, you were
Okay.
saying something.
So I was going to say on Monday works because after this meeting I have to like meet with we have like funding hours with the accelerator program and I don't know when it would end.
Okay.
It really
Okay,
depends. So
what's the
Monday,
name of the accelerator program? Let me check it out.
Hangar SRH. Let me type it because it's spelled differently from the usual Hangar that
Okay.
I have written it in the
Let me
chat
see.
box.
Okay, okay. And okay. There are other founders and other startups there too, right?
Yes, we were. So for the first stage, we were 20 ventures. They call us ventures because some people are from the NGO space, some social impact, some
Okay,
startups.
okay,
We're 20
okay.
ventures. Everybody at that stage got 10K to like implement and give results. So if your solution, based on the reports that you have given after the 6 weeks program, was good enough, if there was like visible growth and you had better plan on how to accelerate better, you get to the next stage where you are giving 20K. But at that stage it's
Okay,
just 10 people that would go. Then we have the third stage where just five startups would get to.
okay, okay. All right, that's fine. So you said Monday is when you probably grant me access to the documents, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it also okay by you if I share some clip of this video for educational purposes? I'm not sharing any sensitive information regarding your startup.
Yes,
I
it
think
is
because
absolutely
in
fine.
the video you gave me a review and you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned some challenges that I know some startup founders make too. So that's what also aids what I'm doing and create awareness too.
Yes, it's fine.
Thank you. Mhm. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you for believing in me, for placing value in what I do. And just know that I'm available for you. Just let me know what the discussion is and we'll find a way around it.
All right. Thank you so
So thank
much.
you so much. And I don't think I gave you my number, but I can send you a message because maybe there are some few check-ins you need to check with me. So we don't have to, go through this again. You just maybe send me a
Mhm.
message to clarify
I
until you
think
are
we
done
are
with the
in a
discussion.
WhatsApp group. When we got that your book, you added us to a
Oh,
WhatsApp group.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. You are right. You are
So
right.
I will just check for the number there if that is fine.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much, Sanusi. It was nice. This had an amazing time. I'm happy you got the clarity that you needed and the vision of the roadmap that you had to go through to get a wholesome legal protection for your startup. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for also having this session with me. I have gotten clarity and I have written down some of the things that we did not think about, like the reaction to medication, a person
Oh
giving
my God.
issue, because
Yeah,
it never really crossed our minds. We were just working based on, oh, we are trying to like scale a model that would not require the traditional model. Do you get? And we never thought about that.
yeah,
But that has been
yeah,
included now, and I would speak to the medical doctor on our team and also the public health specialist since she interfaces with providers. I would speak to her about
yeah.
that so that it will be something they will be aware of.
I'm happy. I'm happy because it's really legal clarity section. So I'm happy about that.
Thank you
All
so
right. Thank
much.
you.
I will get back
Okay.
to
Looking forward.
them. Yes, I'll get
Okay.
back to them
Okay.
before the end of the week and get back to you.
That's
Latest by
fine.
Monday. Thank you.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of
All
your
right.
day. Bye.
All right. You too. Bye.